Guys, Cardano's finished. Charles Hoskinson is official. He's a scammer, and the platform is vaporware. ADA is just basically a stablecoin at this point. It never moves. These are just some of the absolutely insane things ADA haters throw at the wall to see if it sticks. Many people have missed out on ADA because of FUDsters, and I feel sorry for them. ADA has been one of the most consistent performing coins in the history of crypto. It's got one of the strongest communities. I would say top 2, along with their nemesis, the XRP army. Why so much misinformation about this coin and this chain? Which are different, by the way. If you ever wanted to give Cardano a look, or maybe a second look, I got you covered. By the time you get finished with this video, forget understanding Cardano. You're basically going to be an ADA expert. Let's get it. Welcome to Ben Armstrong Crypto X. I don't just talk crypto, I live it. It's all you have to do. Hit that subscribe button to join Ben Nation. And real quick, just a quick housekeeping item. I've been getting a lot of messages from people asking if as a member of Ben Nation, they're allowed to tell people that we're friends. No. That's what we call out of whack expectations, folks. You are only allowed to tell people that we are best friends, just no further. Today, we're diving into Cardano to show you the ropes. If you've ever considered investing in ADA or Cardano-related projects, then this video is for you. If you're in the Cardano community or their slightly cooler crypto knife-wielding cousins, the ADA gang, make sure to smash that like button so YouTube knows to show more Cardano content to unsuspecting potential investors. If you want to check out any of my other crypto explainer videos, make sure to click the link on the screen. The ticker for Cardano is ADA, a palindrome, which is why I like to call Cardano community the ADA gang. The team chose ADA because they named almost everything in their ecosystem after famous mathematicians, philosophers, authors, thought leaders, and others that most of us have never heard of. These are all people that Charles is a fan of. That's their tie-in together. The ticker ADA takes its name from Ada Lovelace, a British mathematician and writer from the 19th century who's recognized as one of the first computer programmers. Even the name Cardano comes from Girolamo Cardano, a 16th century Italian mathematician that made significant contributions to a variety of different fields, including algebra. Cardano has held strong in the top 10 list crypto assets for years now, still hanging there at number 8, with a market cap of over $21.5 billion. Cardano's all-time high has a lot of history, dating all the way back to late 2017. After launching, the price of ADA instantly rallied to $1 during the short-lived bull market of 2017 and 2018, and then crashed all the way down to 3 cents in the depths of the bear market. And I say short-lived because Cardano didn't launch until almost the end of the bull market. But regardless, after the bear market, ADA came back to life in 2020 and climbed to a top of just under $3 in 2021. Since then, we've cooled off to an average of 30 cents throughout the most recent bear market. But we're starting to trend up again, with ADA over 60 cents at the time I'm recording this. If you're obsessed with price because you're a trader, or maybe want to become one, make sure to click the FEMAX link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. Then don't forget to grab your Palau e-residency program card so you can KYC when your card comes in the mail. It's how all the cool kids are trading now, I promise. One of my favorite things though about Cardano is the tokenomics, and this is why I consider it the people's coin and maybe crypto's eventual last stand. More of that later. A lot of projects have up to 40% or more of their supply split up between VCs, team members, and a private foundation. But that's not how it is with Cardano. Tokenomics here are very simple. Almost 58% was allocated to ICO, 31% set aside for staking rewards, and just 11.5% went to the team. It's one of the most decentralized token distributions in the history of the industry. Circulating supply is also much lower than it seems because most of the supply is staked. Currently, over 60% of the supply is staked, and during the bull market, the number was well over 70% on a regular basis. The bull market's heating up again, so you better smash that like and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the action. The team of Cardano, of course, is led by expert falconer and gardener Charles Hoskinson, who has a deep history in the crypto industry. Charles began his career in crypto as a co-founder of a project called BitShares, an early exchange that launched the first stablecoin, BitUSD. BitShares made a big impact in the early days of the industry and helped lay a foundation for much of the innovation that we are seeing now. But as we saw with many projects from that era, it was a bit too early, and it was quickly surpassed by newer technology that was more functional and scalable. After parting ways with BitShares, Charles started working with Vitalik Buterin in the very early days of Ethereum. Charles was actually one of the founding members of the Ethereum team, but it's important to remember that Ethereum probably had more founders than any tech company in history. When Vitalik Buterin wrote the white paper for Ethereum, he was just a young nerd who believed strongly in open source values. So he didn't want Ethereum to have a hierarchy or corporate structure. Right? Talent, size doesn't matter. He invited dozens of other crypto builders to join him and was hoping to have some sort of democratic governance. When the team wanted to decide who would be CEO, Vitalik dubbed himself C-3PO. He could avoid establishing a hierarchy. What a nerd, I'm sorry. But beneath the surface, there was an intense battle for power and control among the other founders. There were way too many Charleses in the kitchen, chefs in the kitchen, and a lot of egos were clashing. I'm sure over fistfights, not chess games. Over time, these founders would eventually break away from the Ethereum team to start their own projects after it became clear that all of them had very different visions for what the future of crypto should look like. Charles was one of the first to go, and he was also one of the first to announce a competitor of his own. It's like all that needs its own video. But his vision for blockchain development was more structured and scientific than the crypto anarchist approach the young Vitalik had, and this vision was the basis for Cardano. Now, if you like learning crypto history like this, then you'll love my books, Catching Up to Crypto and Catching Up to FTX, which both dig deep into the inside stories that'll help you make sense of this crazy crypto world. Links on the screen and down below. Cardano's launch was very interesting because the ICO ran for over 2 years, between 2015 and 2017. It's another reason why the supply of the tokens were so distributed. Most projects closed after raising money for a few months, while Cardano investors had 2 years to get involved. When the project finally launched after the ICO was over in September of 2017, the team had raised over $62.2 million. Investors in the ICO did very well, scooping up ADA for a fraction of a cent. Many of the buyers were based in Asia, which is where most of Cardano's marketing and business efforts were targeted at the time. This is why Cardano's development company was called IOHK, or Input Output Hong Kong, before rebranding to Input Output Global as their scope expanded. The Cardano ecosystem also consisted of Emergo and the Cardano Foundation. Now, back to the ICO, retail investors in the US were unable to participate because they were very strict about KYC, and we live in one of the most restrictive countries in the world when it comes to crypto. Because the SEC is our daddy and we love them, they tell us what to do and what we're allowed to do. Thanks, Gary. Charles was extremely careful to launch in a way that didn't attract the attention of the SEC. I think this is also why it took a few years before Cardano started to get listed on major exchanges in the US like Coinbase. This slow and steady strategy has become one of the main things, the hallmarks, that Cardano has been known for over the years. But it's a controversial project. Some people appreciate this approach. Cardano has made a ton of contributions to the science of blockchain technology, with more published scientific papers than any other project in the industry. And their GitHub activity is through the roof, which means that their developers stay busy. Not everybody's impressed though. This slow, methodical development process is one of the main sources of FUD for Cardano. Critics are quick to point out that it's one of the oldest blockchains in the industry, and yet it's far behind. The reality is, when it comes to the number of applications, users, and transactions. Cardano didn't even have smart contract functionality until the Alonzo upgrade in 2021, 4 years after the blockchain initially launched. Meanwhile, competitors like BNB and Solana were launching with vibrant ecosystems and a lot of hype, with less than half time in development. The Cardano community and the team got a ton of hate for this, and a lot of speculators were very angry because they felt like Cardano was not meeting the same targets that their competitors were. And to some extent, this was true, but they were aiming at something different, with a much more long-term vision in mind. And I see it. I don't know if other people do, but I see the vision. I caught it. It's something the Cardano community understands. And this is why they continue to stack and stake their ADA while the ecosystem develops over time. For much of the community, their confidence in the project comes from their faith in Charles Hoskinson, our Lord and Savior, and their support for his scientific way of thinking about blockchain development. He has also become somewhat of a YouTube celebrity because of his surprise live streams where he acts as an armchair philosopher, musing about everything from blockchain technology to life extension, video games, or bragging about his strange abilities to control the weather in Colorado. Yeah, I gotta sit down with this guy and talk to him about that stuff. Daddy needs some snow, they say. I've met and interviewed Charles in person several times. I've had nothing but nice things to say about it, every interaction I've ever had with him. Another major aspect, though, of Cardano is also its focus on governments and institutions. Here in the United States, Charles has contributed a lot to the government, but in other places like Africa and other regions around the globe that don't have access to traditional banking services. The Cardano team has been working alongside the Ethiopian Ministry of Education to create a blockchain-based digital identity solution for students and teachers. In Tanzania, Cardano scored a major government contract to build a similar identity solution for their education system. More recently, in December of 2023, Cardano announced that it was partnering with Brazil's state-owned energy company, Petrobras, to help with educational workshops about blockchain. These government agencies represent a massive part of the Cardano community. You know what else has a great community? Our channel sponsors Stake, the world's largest social casino. Visit the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to get your account started with Stake. Fun, game, social chat, girlfriends? I don't know, maybe more. I don't know. Cardano Crypto X is powered by Stake. Now, let's jump into the tech that powers the Cardano network. Cardano's smart contract platform is called Plutus, and it promises to be safer and more functional than Solidity, the programming language that was specifically designed for Ethereum. Here's another fun fact about the Ethereum founding team. The Solidity programming language is so bad because that creep Gavin Wood, founding member of Ethereum who also founded Polkadot, rushed the code and hacked it together in a few days. Thanks, Gavin. The developers who are choosing Cardano say that Plutus is more secure because it runs on the Haskell programming language, which has been in use since the late 1990s and has seen steady development ever since, giving programmers plenty of time to work out bugs and patch vulnerabilities. Cardano uses a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism called Ouroboros. The Ouroboros protocol uses a unique style of proof-of-stake that was developed through a peer-reviewed scientific process. Ouroboros divides time into epochs, which are then divided into slots. In each slot, a slot leader is chosen to create a block. I've known a few of those slot leaders. Ouroboros allows ADA holders to participate in the consensus process either directly by running a stake pool or indirectly by delegating their stake to a pool. This mechanism ensures that even stakeholders with a small amount of ADA can participate in the network and receive rewards. The Ouroboros protocol has been designed to be adaptable and upgradable without the need for hard forks that put funds at risk and make life a nightmare for developers when they happen on other blockchains. Something else unique about Cardano's infrastructure is the fact that it uses a UTXO model, which is similar to Bitcoin, but different from most other smart contract platforms. UTXO stands for Unspent Transaction Output, and it basically means that the blockchain keeps track of the supply and balances by tracking transactions instead of accounts. In UTXO networks, there is no ledger keeping track of the balance of each account. Instead, the balance is calculated by tallying unspent outputs associated with an address. Ethereum and most other smart contract platforms use an account-based model where the blockchain keeps records through individual accounts. This is much easier for smart contract programming, but it isn't as private and secure as the UTXO model, which is used by Cardano and Bitcoin. Algorand also uses a modified version of the UTXO model. When it comes to utility, ADA works very similar to native tokens on other blockchains. It's used to pay for transaction fees, create new tokens, for staking, and to participate in governance. The Cardano network is building out slowly, but there's a growing ecosystem of applications that you can try. Most popular decentralized exchange on Cardano is MinSwap, with over $62 million trusted on the platform. Second largest application on Cardano is the Indigo protocol, which is a platform for tokenizing real-world assets with over 33 million in total value locked, or TVL. The JPEG store is the most popular NFT platform on the Cardano blockchain, and it is in the top 10 of NFT marketplaces across the entire crypto industry. Book.io is another big one that doesn't get nearly as much attention as it should. Book.io is now a multi-chain project, but Cardano was the first network that it launched on, and it still seems like that's its main focus. Book.io is a blockchain marketplace for buying and selling ebooks, which have been very generous with airdropping new NFT ebooks to active users. These platforms are the backbone of the Cardano ecosystem, but there are some other new projects in development that could bring more attention to the network. For example, there's World Mobile, which allows users to become nodes in a decentralized internet network to earn crypto similar to the massively successful Helium. You've also got projects like New M, a decentralized streaming service that is looking to create a more equitable platform for artists, which is similar to the Audius app, which has the same mission. And of course, no blockchain is complete without a few meme coins, and that includes the smart and scientific Cardano. The biggest meme coin on the network is Snack, which is around number 300 on CoinGecko. That made JChains laugh. And a market cap of over $130 million. And the Cardano blockchain itself gets upgrades and updates and forks and all kinds of fun stuff. If you want to know more about the midnight upgrade for Cardano, click the link on the screen as I explained it about a month or so ago around Thanksgiving. Cardano is a long-term play, So this is a project for investors that have patience and also have deep belief in this technology and its ability to change the world. As I've been explaining recently, Cardano is one of the last blockchains that hasn't been entirely taken over by VCs, banks, governments, or international financial policy organizations like the WEF or the World Economic Forum. The network and token supply is decentralized, and the VC crowd has ignored Cardano because they haven't been able to get their claws in anywhere. Eventually, people will start to realize Cardano will be our last stand. Timing these things is impossible. If you want to check out my video explaining why Cardano can be crypto's last stand, make sure to click the link on the screen. Also, guys, there's 2 SEC lawsuits that allege that ADA is a security, one versus Binance and one versus Kraken. Remember, the SEC doesn't have to have proof to make these claims. So while I believe Charles and Cardano's ecosystem's done anything wrong, that won't stop the SEC from potentially going after them. However, I've always said that I believe 2028 will be Cardano's big year to shine. This is when it will lead the next bull run, like I believe XRP and Solana are going to lead this one with Cardano not that far behind. That's why I'm loading up my bags now, so I'm ready when it comes. What do you think the future looks like for Cardano? Is it always warm and sunny, like it is in Colorado apparently, when Charles asked the weather to do that? Or do you think Charles has been neglecting his garden? Do me a favor and hit that like button on your way out. It helps us keep the lights on. Be blessed.